Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and yes, we have returned here again for another podcast. And tonight we are going to be talking about Masters of the Universe. Yes, the power of Grayskull and all that. Let's kick off straight with, let's go with Ethan first in Scotland.
Me again. That's twice now. Going first. Well, yeah, Masters of the Universe. Probably the first movie to be based off of a cartoon series. If one of the first, anyway. Haven't seen this in years, but this took me right back to the early 90s, watching it in the summer on VHS and all that. And I loved the animated series. You know, yeah, it's an old age cartoon, but you know what? I love it. It's based on a 1983 animated series, He-Man, Masters of the Universe, about a prince who becomes a super powerful hero called He-Man, up against the villain known as Skeletor, one of the best bad guys of all time, whichever version. Alex, shush, he is one of the best villains. And I love him anyway. But yeah,
I'm the best villain, dear.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, you can agree. You're one of the best bad guys I've ever met.
But you're gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
And there's your new villain catchphrase. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed this film. It's not great, but it's not bad either. It's a fun 80s movie, and that's what I love about it. You've got a lot of the characters from the original cartoon. Well, not a lot, but you've got some of them. You've got, well, obviously the main characters themselves, He-Man and Grayskull, played by Dolph Lundgren, and Frank Langella as Skeletor's brilliant. He nails it. Skeletor was more comical in the cartoon, but Frank Langella as a more darker Skeletor, brilliant, awesome. And you've got other characters from the cartoon, like Beast Man, who looked brilliant. That's how he looked in the cartoon. You've got Man of Arms, who was one of my favorites, and the suit for him looks great as well, but it's just more, it's less cartoony, just more science fiction, but it still looks like him. And you've got some original characters like Karg and Sorad, who I think was based off of a character called Lizard Man from the cartoon. And you've got the little wizard called Gwildor.
Gwildor, yeah.
Gwildor, who I think was based off of Orca, who was a wizard. I wish this guy was in the film. Orca was brilliant, who had like a little black face, yellow eyes, scarf wrapped around his face, wizard hat, floats around. Really cool character.
He was a blacksmith as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was. Gwildor was, yeah. But as it is, they're fighting on Eternia. And as it turns out, there's a device that ends up transporting them to Earth. And they've got to get back on time to save the sorceress, save Eternia, and save the world. It's a fun movie. I had good fun watching it. There are moments where you sort of go, oh, God. But I liked it. I do wish Battle Cat was in it. I wish Orca was in it.
Is that green cat?
Yeah, it was his pet
toy one,
like a big tiger, but that would do the same, transform into a big beast.
Yeah, He-Man used to ride that.
Yeah. And you can't beat Skeletor's voice in the original, though. I am Skeletor, and I like being evil. Not good. But trying to think. Yeah, like I said, I will say it has some very cool shots. The design for it, I have to admit, is pretty good. I like the design of Grayskull, Castle Grayskull. In the cartoon, it was more medieval-like, and you've got the skull face. But in this, I've got to admit, it was pretty cool, Grayskull. When that first shot, when you see it's more cybernetic and metallic, I was like, "Ooh, that's a cool castle." Still has the front of the skull like opens up, but yeah, good, decent acting. Like I said, not great, but it's a fun movie. It's a fun 80s romp, and I like a good romp.
But do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Star Wars cross between Flash Gordon.
Yeah, it does have that sort of
Skeletor is very much the Emperor, and especially towards the end, he gets thrown off the off the thing. Yeah, like the Emperor did. Very much like that, and he's got that throne as well where he sits. Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, the design of it was great. The costumes looked great. It was more. It had a more science fiction look to it, like more space-like. You had that in the cartoon, but there was still it was kind of a mixture of fantasy and sci-fi, whereas this steers towards more sci-fi sort of thing, but still has fantasy. But I enjoyed it. It's He-Man. I've always enjoyed He-Man. So yeah, good pick. I had a good fun watching this, reliving memories as a kid.
Right, from our very own Skeletor to our very own Gwildor. You know who I mean, Jake.
Right from the get-go, I was not brought up with this universe of He-Man and all that. The only exposure I had to He-Man was free hand-me-down figures I had from my cousins, which were He-Man, Trapdoor, Skeletor, and the Captain Man with a moustache, and the Green Tiger. I had the Green Tiger too in my
I had the Green Tiger, yeah.
But I found that the first hour of this film really, really dragged for me until it got to the shop and the fight. I thought, God, it's only been half an hour. I feel like I've been sitting here for 3 hours. It's just, I wasn't so keen the aspect of them going to Earth. I would have rather have seen the whole film based in their lore and their world, because then you get to see more of the lore. If you're not familiar with it like me, you could get to know the characters more, which I didn't get in this film really, apart from one's got pointy nipples, one's a goblin, and someone's a madam with a gun running around. And the villain, I didn't really like him till, as I said, an hour in. I thought, oh God, what a dramatic entrance you need walking in. It's just like, I really did struggle with this film until like the last 45 minutes. That to me was the good stuff of the film, all the fighting and stuff.
You mean the bondage? Yeah. Come on, Jake. But yeah, Jake makes a really, really good point. I hate it when these shows have their own universe, like, you know, He-Man, which I've seen some episodes in the past, but then they like force Earth into it. You know, I hate that. It's like the Smurf movies. It's like, well, why send them to modern day Earth? Why not just keep them in the village? You know, Smurf Village. It's like, I hate it when they do that for a film, and they make a film about something, and they have to have Earth into it. Yeah. And I thought all the key stuff was a bit over dramatic. I just didn't like that storyline. It was a bit naff. What's up, Ethan?
No, I was just going to say, I agree, because it's not bad, and I didn't mind it set on Earth, but as a lover of the cartoon, there were so many of the worlds I would have loved to have seen in Eternia. You know, the swamps, the mountains, the snowy mountains, and all the other bad guys and heroes that existed. It would have been cool to see it all set on that world.
Yeah, I think it would work better. But then you have to have the human characters, the love stories, and all that. Yeah. Right, let's go to Philip. Yes, you, Philip.
Yes, me. Okay. I never watched this on when it first came out back then, and I was quite enamored by it because of Frank Langella himself. He could just be in the movie himself, and it would sell me. I didn't care much for Dolph Lundgren. I thought he was a dumb blonde, to be honest, as He-Man. He just didn't do what He-Man's supposed to be. He just seemed like a. I tell you who I thought. I mean, yeah. So Frank Langella was good, and he acted as Skeletor to how I think he would be on TV. So that's quite cool. As far as the story itself, yes, I agree with you. They should have stuck it on Eternia and left it there and let it play out on Eternia rather than bringing in the the humans and the. I know Graham loved the police cop, but yeah, come on, he's a bit cheesy. And that's the whole thing about the He-Man movie. It's very cheesy to a point where you can smell the cheese, but it's good. What's her name? The one that played Evil-Lyn. Her eyes are so mesmerizing.
Meg Foster.
Meg Foster's eyes are the most weirdest eyes I've ever seen on a woman. I just love them, and I wish I could just do anything all day. But she was good at Evil-Lyn as well. She stood out for me as well. She was very evil. Did she play the mum as well? At the end, where she, when the whole thing's over, she sees the mum, the girl.
No, it was a different actress who played the mother.
Oh, they're not the same.
And Meg Foster played Evil-Lyn.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But otherwise, yeah, Gwildor, he's a bit annoying sometimes. You just want to set a light to him at some point and get rid of him.
Don't be mean to Jake. Horrible thing to say. Apologise.
I apologise, Gwildor, okay?
Thank you. Now continue.
That's okay, Diane.
It was all right. The best parts of it would have been the fight scenes in the street by the music area. The music area, and the best line for me was Frank Langella saying, "Let them rot." And he's that always gets me when he says, "I just get a woody when I hear him say it." But there you go. Thank you.
Right, we didn't need to know that extra bit there. Let's go to Philip. Not Philip. It's been Graham. Sorry, Graham.
Yes. Yeah. I can cover a bit of what was being said with regards to this music. Back in the day when I was a kid, I loved this. Absolutely loved it. Then obviously when you grow up and you get a better appreciation of things and you go, okay, that's not quite right. That's not quite right. He was good, but that wasn't quite right. And then you watch it back and go, it's actually not a bad cult movie. I agree that the script should have took place mainly within Eternia, Etheria, or anywhere like that, whatever you like. This whole concept coming to Earth is a major gimmick that a lot of movies did use as a trope back in the day. There's not much you can do about that. There's a reason for that. It's basically due to the script and because of the turmoil going on behind the scenes with Canon Films at the time during the production of this movie and Superman 4. But that's a story for another day. Let's just say there was some double dipping in the money pot. But all in all, Frank Langella steals the show here at Skeletor. Dolph Lundgren, yeah, all right, he wasn't god-awful, but you could tell he was only in his second or third major film role here. The English wasn't exactly great all the time. What was the first one? It was Ivan Drago, wasn't it? So this is film number 2 and number 3 down the road. So, yeah, so there you go. Oh, God, Gwildor. The key, the cosmic key. Oh, God, I hate leprechauns. And this is no exception. You replaced Orko with this. I realise you couldn't have did the CGI floating thing back in 1986, 87 when this thing was made, but surely you could have done something better than that. Julie and Kevin, yeah, you've got to have the two teenage human elements, and by this point, Courtney Cox was just looking for a break, other than a Bruce Springsteen dancing in a dark music video. So she goes to here some 6 years on with this movie. That basically launched her career, albeit it wasn't a financial success. Meg Foster as Evil-Lyn, superb. And I'm sorry, Phil, screw you and your cheesiness. James Tolkien, back in his glory. It's basically Mr. Strickland for Back to the Future, except we changed his name to Lubick and put him as a cop instead of a high school teacher. It's the same freaking character.
Yeah, he bitches and moans about everything. Everything I've seen him in, he bitches and moans about everything. You're like, calm down, son.
It's the exact same character. He's bloody brilliant. I love him. He's trigger happy with a shotgun, and he just total out his element, and that leads to some funny moments. Only main wee gripe I've got with this thing, you've got a couple of non exclusive villains made for the movie. Like Razar and who was the other one? Blaze and
Blade, Kurg.
Yeah, you're different.
Oh, so they're not in the series?
No. They were made exclusively for the movie. And I'm sitting there going, okay, that's fine. Your good guys team was very limited. You had Teela, Man-at-Arms, and He-Man. Yeah, okay, and I guess a sorceress, even though she was chained up for the whole movie. But, no, I'm sorry. I was really pissed. Where's Ram-Man? Where's Fisto? Where's Manny Faces? Where's Buzz-Off? Were they dirty words back in the mid-80s? Probably.
Lockjaw. Where's Lockjaw with the metal?
Yeah. But yeah, sci-fi / meets modern day Earth. Star Wars crossed with Flash Gordon with elements of the He-Man lore dipped in there. Probably best describes this movie. It's not the best movie, but Airtime has developed a flipping fantastic cult following. And if you could just kill the leprechaun, I'd watch this movie at least 5 times a year. As the leprechaun's in it, I watch it twice a year. Thank you.
Wow, he watches this film twice a year. No wonder he drinks.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go to the sofa of love. Will there be any love for Masters of the Universe?
Go ahead, Susan.
There you go.
Yeah, it's Golan Globus, two Israeli cousins, made a lot of mediocre and sort of super cheesy movies. There's a few that everybody knows, and this is one of them. The other one is Breaking and Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, and that's where that
Sorry, that just made me
silliness
laugh
came
you saying
from.
that.
You got Cobra with Sylvester Stallone, all that stuff, and Delta Force. Basically, those guys almost bought the whole world. Didn't they buy a lot of the British cinemas at one point? And yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. Yeah, it's 17 million. It's barely made back even 30 million still, even though it's a cult movie. You can see some of what they did here, but I would have preferred if it was more true to the cartoon. Tila seemed like Leela. Frankly, Langella was actually very good. But the rest of it, and of course you have Courtney Cox. And of course, it's funny that Graham mentioned Leprechaun because Jennifer Aniston was in that one. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, you could see the character actors. I guess I have to defend it. I don't really want to, but
No, you don't.
it's not terrible, but it's like a bad cross between Superman, Flash Gordon, and
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, because the ending was very Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, you're stealing it. You are so stealing it.
Yeah.
But that's the way they were. They even stole from their own movies. They even set up phony movies and had Bronson and Chuck Norris and all that. Say, oh yeah, we're gonna make the movie. They were never made. So you have a little bit there. So they did some good movies, but not as many as they said, and some of them actually were good. This is one of them, unfortunately. But I mean, hey, it is hard to make a movie, right?
Yeah, it is, but
It's hard to make a good movie.
this is sort of a cheesy romp. It's great. It's got a cool soundtrack. It's got a cool. I mean, I especially like it when they went to the Jimi Hendrix as they're walking into the music store. I liked how the music won the war. Music is always amazing. And Frank Langella, he's the sexiest Dracula, but he is the gruesomest Skeletor. I mean, it's just, he's amazing. He's a great actor. And all these women who were in it, Meg Foster as Evil-Lyn and Courtney Cox and Chelsea Field as Tila and Christina Pickles as the Sorceress of Castle Grayskull. And the one that was the other actress, the one who played the mom, was called Gwyn Guilford. I mean, but the thing is that they were all completely brunettes and stuff like that. So that was sort of like, in a way, cookie cutter. But I really liked the father-daughter soldier team. That was fun, and that was a good relational thing to look at. And of course the Kevin and Julie's romance was, I guess, because it was established in advance, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad sort of connection. I don't know. The chemistry was sort of there, but anyway, I really liked it. I really liked the movie, and I really liked the sword. I'll get to my favorite bits later.
Yeah, no, get to your favourite bits later. Yes, save the viewers for suspense. Right, let's go to our Commander-in-Chief, Lee Wilson.
Hey, He-Man.
Well, I've got to admit, I did miss Fisto. He should have been in it, and Ram Man. But that's another film I'm talking about. Yeah, what to make of this? Yes, it's got a cult following. Yes, it flopped at the cinema. Dolph Lundgren, bad casting. He was riding the wave of success of Rocky IV at the time, and they cast him as He-Man. And if you watch the credits, you did see dialogue coach for Dolph Lundgren. Are you thinking dialogue coach? He never said hardly any sentence in this movie, because we know his English wasn't that good at the time. So most of the spoken words were all from the other actors. Yeah, Frank Langella is the best thing about this movie. Skeletor's the portrayal of Skeletor, brilliant. Yeah, and if you got past all the credits, there is a scene where he does pop his head back up again. I'll be back. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the Earth plotline, and I think this is why it may have failed at the cinema, because I think people went to see this expecting it all to be set in the lore of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, which it wasn't. Yeah, but as I think it was Graham said, there's quite a few movies around in the 80s what did that. Took a well-known story base and move it to Earth. And Howard the Duck, for one reason, that happened, that flopped as well. But
Duck tits.
yeah, I did say earlier on in the week when we was talking, the only thing this is missing is a Queen soundtrack, because then you would get the Flash Gordon Barb 100%. It's not a classic movie. It's not bad. It's mediocre. It's watchable. You can see why it's got cult following, because films like this do get cult followings. The flop way back when they're released, but 30 odd years down the line, people seem to love all the campiness of it all.
See, that is potentially might be the future of this group.
Well, we are a bit campy. We have got a few things campy in this group anyway.
And we're a bit floppy.
You speak for yourself, dear.
Oh, you are gorgeous.
But it's
the night's only young.
As I say, it's one of those middle diddling movies.
Yeah,
it's one of those, but that's fine. Middle diddling. It's not god awful bad, but it's not one of the best movies ever.
Gorgeous. No.
Well, yeah. But for me, it's Frank Langella all the way for this, and I wish Skeletor was, appeared more in the movie. Because, Andy said not having Orko there and Battle Cat, big mistake for the filmmaker.
Yeah, Battle Cat should have been in it.
But how would they have done it in 1987?
That's a good point.
But there again, a year before.
The animatronics.
I was going to say a year before you had.
Oh, yeah, you've had other things before that.
You had Labyrinth, you had Return of the Jedi with Jabba the Hutt and all that. It could have been done, I suppose. But
when was Never Ending Story?
Never Ending Story, the big
When
one.
was that? Yeah.
That was 1981.
Again with this movie, it all comes into budget. Cannon Films was heading towards the toilet bowl by this time.
Yeah,
You had the flying dog as well.
but the amount of money they spent on the CGI and the special effects, they could have done the dog quite easily, or the cat quite easily, or the cat. They could have chucked him in quite easily with all that.
Clever editing. Yeah.
Remember, it was a talking cat as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but you could have made its mouth move. So was the dog, the flying dog in Never Ending Story.
I think that was the main reason why this flopped.
Falcor.
It wasn't.
Wait, hang on.
Falcor, that's it. Yeah.
Falcor was not a flying dog. He was a flying luck dragon. Let's get it.
He was a dog.
He was a luck dragon. Get out of it.
Rock dragon, but just looked like a Face
What
like
did you say, Ethan?
Luck Dragon.
Okay.
That's that bit. Other two valid.
Yeah.
I'm glad that was clarified. Right,
Susie's got
let's go to the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Susie.
All right. Sorry for my technical difficulties earlier.
Yeah,
I
she was just
too-
trying to
can you
climb
hear
the
me
prison
okay now?
walls. Yeah, we
What?
can hear you.
Okay, good. I too grew up with this animated kids thing, and I used to watch it every Saturday morning in the States. Saturday morning was the comic time until between when you wake up till noon. And I watched this every Saturday, but mostly because it was a placeholder until I got to Batman. So I kind of waited it. So this was not my favorite as a kid. I didn't like the animation as a kid either. I recall thinking it looked kind of odd and cheesy and just not as good as the other comics, like Batman. It was kind of hard to set anything up against Batman because, it was so awesome,
And what
So-
about the film?
It kind of spoiled me for all of the other cheap animation because that Batman wasn't cheap. So anyway, I was surprised at how bad this was and how much I didn't like it. And I'm really sorry about that. But I think
Enough
that
about this
it would have been
podcast. What do you
better
think of the
if there were 3 robots down on the little right side there. That would have made the whole thing much better. I think I would have liked it then, because I can watch any movie, no matter how bad it is, if there's 3 little robots down there riffing on it. So that's my opening thought. I really did not like the movie that much. I wish I did. I did watch it all to the end. You see Skeletor say, "Be back." So I went through the whole thing. But holy crap, just don't do it.
Just don't do it. Wow.
Don't do it.
Dear viewer, dear share, just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Just
Right.
don't do it. It's not worth it. Just don't do it.
That's my point. Yeah.
Right. I got to say, well, I used to play with He-Man when I was a little child.
Oh, did you now?
And,
How is that not surprising?
He said priggishly. Yeah.
You play
I
Winnie
thought I'd just
Pooh,
drop
or-
that bombshell in me.
Lordy, Lord.
Yes, we believe you.
I used to make him ride I used to make him ride the cat.
Oh my God, the poor
Yeah.
pussy. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Make him feel the power.
I have to say, she died shortly afterwards, which is really
Good one.
sad, and
Good
it's
one,
brought back
Ethan.
really sad memories. But enough about my little pussy.
Cool.
this film, I got Graham all excited. Right, this film is awful, and that is my opinion. That's it. It's sheer awful. Like Susie says, just like joining this group, don't do it. Never do it. It'd be the worst decision you make this year. Just don't do it.
No, there are worse decisions this particular year. Like, don't go outside. That would be a bad decision.
No. I would rather go outside than watch this film again.
Right, so that's Susan, Ethan, Graham owe me money because I bet them the other day that you would say all that.
Ooh.
Really?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's the only redeeming feature about this film is Skeletor. I did kind of like Skeletor and all the entrances. I like a big bad villain who has dramatic entrances and a cape and he's storming down. Or
You like a big entrance, do you?
I love a big entrance.
And all the dramatic turns. Dum.
Yeah, love a big entrance of anything. So, and the rest of it was just utter drivel. It was drivel. I mean, the story was absolutely pathetic.
So did you like it,
gotta
Alice?
get these keys.
Alice, did you like it?
I loved it.
I know.
10
It
out of
was
10.
great.
10 out of 10. There we go. That's my review. 10 out of 10. No,
Dude,
but
you just have to fuel him, don't you? Fuel the energy.
it was.
The
Will
question
you
is,
stop interrupting me, please?
the question is, Ali, what about all the leather?
The lever, I like the lever. I do have a problem. The belt got in the way.
Not the always.
Would it shatter your dreams if I told you that was PVC?
I agree with him though. There wasn't enough pouch action going on there. It was all sort of like
We were talking about this last night,
yeah,
about the bulge.
Have you noticed? Speaking of bulge, have you noticed every
Oh
shot?
my no!
No, every time they shoot someone, there's a crotch shot. Every shot is always at the crotch. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
geez,
we'll do it.
talk about great balls of fire. Every time they shoot one of the bad guys into the balls.
I don't know how I missed that. Okay. Was that one of your favorite moments?
Can I speak now, please?
Susie, really?
Can I have the rest of my say now, please, Ethan?
Oh, sorry.
I know you're Scottish, but it's no excuse these days, dear.
I'm English.
When other people do it to him.
Right, now, it's a shit... Let's put it like this. It's a shit film. I never want to see it again, and it's a 2. Now, go on to your favourite moments.
oh my God.
Wait a minute. I do have a favorite moment. Can I start?
Go on
Well,
then.
you're all
Okay.
interrupting, so you might as well.
My favorite moment in the whole film, besides when it ended, was when Skeletor came into the leafy suburban street on the big,
Yeah.
whatever that big black thing was he was riding, his ship or whatever. I wasn't talking about
Philip, I didn't know you were in the film, bloody hell.
I couldn't help it.
Well, but to be honest, that should have been just the most awesome moment. But for some reason, it's kind of hard watching all of these movies. It's really hard for me to put. It's a fine line between a great sci-fi flick and something that just doesn't work. And that long shot, and they kept showing him coming through the suburban area. Shut the fuck up, Alex. And just going through. It should have worked. The whole movie should have worked. But my favorite was that long shot because in that moment I saw what the film was supposed to be. Yeah. And I really thought it could have been something. It could have been epic, and it could have been like Star Wars, because Star Wars wasn't the best movie, but it could have been that kind of success. But the only reason I think it wasn't, I think it was the editing and the direction, because although He-Man, didn't have much dialogue, he was pretty to look at. And and that's really all He-Man needs to be. And but
that is so sexist.
That
is so sexist.
I like.
That's
What?
so sexist. That's all He-Man needs to be.
Well, it's true.
I know.
And so it, basically there were actors that were good actors in there. I mean, the guy who played Tom Paris was like a romantic lead. So by all accounts, the movie should have worked and been great. But I think it was down to the direction and the editing. So that's my point of view. But I really did.
Yes, Philip,
I
that
liked
was
when he
Tom
came in.
Paris.
What?
That was Tom Paris.
That was
Yeah, that was Tom Paris.
What the
Voyager.
I know, right?
I didn't even realise that. I
Yeah.
didn't realise.
I
Wow.
know. So, but I really did like that, and the juxtaposition. I didn't like when they went to Earth either. All I could think of was, oh no, not again. But
Oh no.
but it could have been fabulous because the whole juxtaposition. But it didn't work anyway. So that was my favorite moment, except for the ending.
Could have been gorgeous, darling. Could have been gorgeous. Right. Who wants to jump in now? Go on, Ethan.
Oh, well, anything with Skeletor, brilliant. Everything he did stole. I agree. He stole the scenery. I actually like the fight. I like the final fight at the end, which was was good. I like the final fight.
Yeah.
But the one fight I actually enjoyed, and maybe this was because I was a fan of the cartoon, was the bit in the warehouse where He-Man's fighting the mercenaries.
Mm.
When he saves Courtney Cox's character, and then he goes into the warehouse, and they all come flying in, and he's fighting all of them. I actually kind of like that fight, but maybe that's because I'm like, oh, it's He-Man fighting against Skeletor's henchmen. That's kind of what you like, and that's kind of what you wanted to see. He-Man taking on the big villains from the cartoon, even though the only ones from the cartoon were Evil-Lyn, Beastman, and Skeletor. The others were made up for the film, and the only good guys from the cartoon were Man of Arms, his daughter, and obviously He-Man. Man of Arms, I liked him as well. I actually liked him. I kind of liked the bit when I don't know why, maybe because I miss KFC right now, but the bit when they steal the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it made me hungry for chicken. when he steals it, he
I'll
goes,
send you a better recipe.
"What's that?"
I'll send you a better recipe than KFC.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
please, yes, yeah. Send it to me, Susie, babe. Come on, thank you.
Susie Babe.
Oh my
Yeah.
Susie Babe.
What's going on here?
Whoa.
My hair is
She's got
gorgeous.
You got gorgeous hair, darling. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Okay. My turn. Right. My favourite bit was
Jesus, he's quick, isn't he?
I am, and I. But
There you go.
my favourite
We
bit.
didn't wait around.
My favourite bit is when He-Man is getting whiplash, and every
I
time,
don't-
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
every time he's getting lashed, poor old Skeletor's like going, oh yeah, I can feel it. Oh,
Yeah, it did look a bit dodgy,
that
didn't
was
it?
kind of erotic.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Oh, grab the staff or something, wasn't it? Yeah, grab the staff.
I'm expecting a song to pop in going, "It's okay to be gay."
But that was very intense. I felt every whip. Thank you.
Oh, that was it. You just like the whipping. All right, let's go to Graham. He's unmuted himself now as he's done it.
Whipping notwithstanding, I thought that'd be Falber's favourite part.
Well, you can do it lying down if you want.
Nah, you're all right.
Okay.
But basically, as Ethan alluded to, anything with Frank Langella, Skeletor, and this was just dynamite. And anything with Guildo can just be left on the cutting room floor. But no, I got a kick out of Woodbrick, the old Mr. Strickland for Back to the Future guy, because it's the same character. I don't care what anybody bloody says. Change his second name. He's not a school teacher. He's not a cop. He's hunting with a gun. It's the same bloody character. Pay him again. Why not? Anything with they two. Meg Foster as Evil-Lyn. She gets a pass as well. Other than that, struggling.
and
then
a lot of films, he always uses a shotgun. Never any other gun. It's a shotgun that teacher uses.
Because Jake did try to come in before Ethan rudely interrupted him.
Yeah. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but is the lead
You're
girl-
wrong. Oh, okay. Let's go, Susan.
Is the lead girl the one whose parents died? The woman who's the lead girl in Nightmare on Elm Street? Because I recognised her. I know. Because I've seen her in something before, and I can't put my finger.
You've seen her in Friends.
No,
Jake,
that's Heather Langenkamp. That's a completely different actress, Sunshine.
Oh, it's really familiar. Anyway, enough of her. Yeah, my favourite bit was the record shop when they were all shooting each other up. I like that. I like the carnage of that. But to me, some of the characters were just rip-offs, like camp Star Wars villains. Especially like what Lee said, or whatever it was, that Skeletor is basically the Emperor, or Darth Sidious, whatever you want to call him, from the Star Wars stuff. Black cloak, white face. Why didn't they do him green and purple, like Skeletor originally is, like with his green face and his purple robes and stuff? Yeah, I think it would have made him look more striking than having him be a bog standard villain in a black robe.
Yeah, but you got to remember. Hold on. You got to remember. This was a toy line first, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Skeletor never had a green face.
Didn't he?
No, he was a skull.
Yeah, skull. Yeah, this was a toy line first, though, from the success of Star Wars.
Hang on, why do you think he was a tortoise?
He's not a tortoise. He's not a tortoise. How did?
Yeah, I was wondering why Jake said like a tortoise.
I didn't say like a tortoise. Open your ears up. I swear in the cartoon, from what pictures I've seen, that his face is green.
No, he's not green.
Oh, isn't it?
No, it's always white.
Wait a minute. He's right. It's semi-green in that shit He-Man in the Future series that lasted one season back in 1990.
And my figure of him had a green face.
I remember that one.
And my figure of him had a green face. So yeah, that's basically my feelings of it.
That's not green.
Oh, yellow.
Yellow.
I'm colour.
Yeah, well, it's the original. I'm just saying that's the original.
Yeah, yellow. Oh, ish.
Yeah.
Yellowish.
Colourblind. My apologies.
You've seen the second one that lasted a year, Jake. Yeah.
Well, probably. I don't know. But that's my favourite moment. The whole shoot up in the shop and everything. But like Ali or Susie, I didn't really enjoy it at all. I wasn't invested in it. To be honest, I didn't like the bit at the end. He put his head up and go, "I'll be back." least threatening thing on the planet. He didn't sound threatening at all. He's just like, I'll be back! Like he's popping out to the shops or something. I'm like, Jesus.
Can I just say, what was it with these late 80s movies, promising sequels and shit-ass ways and never coming through?
Yeah.
He-Man,
Yeah.
They all did that.
Mac and Me. Where are these sequels, man, you know?
They all did that.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah.
money, money in a rich
money,
man's
money,
world.
Yeah,
Gorgeous,
I really think that he would have been better in the blue like tight thing. This robe thing. He fought like crap in it. I mean, he would have won the fight with He-Man had he been in a skin tight lycra blue suit with like straps on it.
You just want the lycra, do you?
No, but Skeletor was a good fighter, and this was only halfway decent fight scene.
Yeah, but you know what? He was weighed down by all the RuPaul clothing.
I gotta say, he did look.
Robes are shit for fighting. You just have to have something tight and stretchy to make your moves able. He needs leggings and stuff. It's just like that's the way. I mean, that's why Batman and Superman and all those guys are so effective.
Get on board with that.
Not everyone's got the legs for tight suit.
Yeah, but do you know what I thought he looked? I thought when he was in the gold, he just looked stupid.
Yeah, he looked like a camp old mistress, didn't he? Right, love.
It looked really ridiculous.
Can I just say that?
Yeah, that's true.
There's a reason why that final battle scene looks kind of shitty. It's because they didn't have the budget to finish it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, whatever the reason, if you're wearing too many robes, you're a shit fighter.
Oh, for God's sake, it's a fashion push.
That's right. That's right, Graham. I'm gonna take this guy to court.
No, you can't. They're all
dead. To Skeletor court. He's gonna have to stand up and tell me why he wore such like.
What have you got against robes?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried fighting in robes?
Yes.
Have you?
I was in the Society for Creative Anachronism. Of course I tried fighting in robes.
Yeah, but can I just point out somewhere? You're a big fan of this franchise, Star Wars. They fight a lot in robes.
There you go.
They take them off.
No, they don't. Well,
take his cape off.
I have to say, I don't want Skeletor to take his robes off.
And neither did Ben Kenobi.
That's one.
Maybe in the movie you saw they took him off, but not the one I saw. I mean,
if Skeletor took his robe off, I think that's one too many bones.
I'm going to give this conversation the award for the geekiest conversation this group has.
I know, isn't it terrible? Isn't it terrible?
This is the good stuff, Alex. Oh my God.
Okay, well,
oh my gosh.
FYI to Mark Hamill, who's going to be taking over this role shortly. If you don't have a robe, Sue will hate you. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, the problem is, like I said, the directors, the Golan and Globus, they usually didn't hit the mark. I mean, Breaking was a lucky mistake for them. Breaking 2, I could see what they tried to do, but the editing didn't make any sense. So they had a lot of movies that they kind of redid it from Israel when they were in Israel. They did a lot of movies that they were just trying to get in the buck. They were just trying to bring in, Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris and all that.
Okay,
and everybody forgets that.
So what moment did you?
I mean, like I said, it's Skeletor. If Skeletor wasn't on, it'd be no point in watching this movie. It's just so. I mean, it makes Labyrinth and Dark Crystal look like a $5 billion movie. It's just so poorly done.
Films are pretty decent. What are you
on
about?
No, but that's what I'm saying is that right. Even though they make mistakes,
you're going to start a mutiny in here.
I know. It's 1% less than Masters of the Universe.
And the little guy who played Gwildor?
Yeah, he's great. I understand that. Billy Barty is a classic. I understand that.
He was in Willow and in Legend.
Well, I didn't like Willow, but that's okay. That is okay. But I'm just saying that unfortunately, what they gave him to do I mean, it's lucky he was watchable because it was it was such mediocre material because they just wanted to come up with like 1 billion movies and have all of them play in all their movie theaters, which I understand they're corporate. They want to do that, but that doesn't make a good movie.
But it was riding on the back of all the toys that they were selling at the same time anyway.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Right, but I got another
It was a
movie.
toy franchise, and then they
Right,
created the TV series, and they created the films.
Right, and I got another movie that they made, Superman 4. Remember that?
Oh,
so
yeah,
you know,
that's where the double dipping came into effect, and basically
yeah.
we
So I mean,
well, hold on. When was the first Turtles film?
1990.
Because that was good. That was really good. We reviewed that. That was really
brilliant.
good.
I love
No,
Link.
that wasn't Golden Globus.
That was really good. The first Turtles film.
Yeah.
No, but
is that the
So these type of films, they're not all bad, because if you look at the Turtles, that was a great film.
yeah,
Fuck
but
movie,
I'm
bad.
not
I agree.
criticizing
The
that,
first
though.
one's the best one we're ever going to get.
Yeah.
Of course, the third one probably wasn't.
Don't
but
mention
anyway.
that. No.
Chris, I'm ready.
Alex, can we move to Lee for favourite moments, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
You've got Alex's permission, Lee.
Oh yeah, right.
Thank you. As long as I've got the permission. Yeah. Favorite moments. It's the scene stealing Frank Langella as always. It's, as you say, the big entrance, what Ali's so fond of. And
I mean,
also,
I don't mind a small entrance, you know.
oh.
As long as it's clean.
I mean, the way Frank Langella worked the face mask, because it wasn't a pretty good face mask. Because Skeletor never had eyes, stuff like that. But I would suppose you've got to have the eyes because it was the mid-80s and the actors got to see out the mask. But the way he worked the facial expressions, it sort of did work. I agree the black leather PVC costume was not Skeletor. You had to be the blue purpley thing for me.
Spandex.
The only pass I can give him on that is they were probably just trying to distinguish him from Alan Oppenheimer Skeletor for the original series. But
yeah, I think movies always put villains in black.
They must have cast him for his voice though, because his voice was very effective.
Shakespearean actor, Phil. Maybe that's something to do with it.
Yeah, very good actor. He is a very good actor, and shamefully, he is not seen as much on the big screen. He's done a film here or there, but people seem to miss his performances. But I love Frank Langella. He's a brilliant actor. Dolph Lundgren.
Agreed.
What's that? What was that?
I think she was agreeing about Frank Langella, no Dolph Lundgren.
Correct.
Alid held a piece of paper up.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, what's that, Alid? Come on, show us.
What?
I can't even read that. Susan! It says, I can't read the rest of it though. Susie, what?
He's holding us hostage. Call for help.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh.
Are you?
Anyway, continue, Lee.
Yeah. To me, it was with Frank Langella and the Beastman and all like that. That sort of thing was my favourite sort of scenes. I could have dismissed He-Man and all like that because it just, for me, he didn't feel like He-Man.
There was one thing missing from the entire film. Did he once ever say, I have the power?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Twice.
Yeah, right at the very end.
Oh.
Twice he said, yeah.
Yeah. Once was
By
not
Skeletor.
To be honest, if you gave up, I don't blame you.
But the cartoon said it better.
Yeah.
The cartoon delivered it better.
Yeah, John Eeyore, yeah. John Irvin, yeah, good man. Yeah.
But did the cartoon He-Man have a better hairstyle?
You were going to say something else then.
It had a bangs hairdo, like that.
I hated the hair, the mullet. I hated it.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah, I hate it.
It was very 80s. To be
The
honest.
cartoon, the cartoon always baffled me because you had this white blonde guy that turned into this brown-haired guy, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, okay.
It was called Adam by Day.
Yeah.
It was a bit too tanned as well.
Had they done a-
It's
Had they-
ridiculous when they're that tanned.
Had they done a sequel, you reckon they would have brought in She-Ra?
No,
Just to balance it out.
no, there was never going
No,
to be.
that
a
would
sequel.
have been too soon for that. There was a sequel planned, and it turned into another movie. I can't remember what the hell it was.
Philip, we'll start a petition to get She-Ra made.
Oh, for God's sake, no.
Please,
Yes,
no.
yes.
As much as I love Hordak, no.
I do remember.
Oh, Hordak. Yeah.
He might be in the new thing.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, Ollie, there's a lot of gaggling going on there.
I said She-Ra might appear in the new thing with Mark Hamill. You never know.
Oh, maybe a season or two down the line. Yeah, I knew that other thing's finishing. That's just statutory rape. Yeah, you know.
And can I just say as well, I'll point out Alid's score earlier. What did you score it, Alid? Was it a 2?
I think I said 2.
You said you were going to score it better than Picard. So I'm sorry, you've gone back on your word there.
Wait, hang on. What did you score for Picard?
Yeah, what did you score for Picard?
He wasn't very happy with it, put it that way.
Right, crack him on
no. Okay, I'll give it a 2.1.
Oh, yeah, yes.
There you go. So it's got a bit better than Picard.
A bit better than Picard.
What? You are insane.
That's welcome to the internet, dearie.
You know he's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
Picard.
tell me something I didn't know, Susie.
I do not understand why you scored this
I don't know.
higher than Picard.
I think they're doing this on
Yeah,
purpose.
but Picard was unwatchable.
He likes other people's pain. That's what it is.
Well, we'll leave it at that then.
He does.
Moving on.
As soon as he scores it, he loves to suck out all the energy when people's faces go.
Oh, hang on, it's
My
She-Man.
energy.
It's no Dracula. Yeah.
My soul.
Yeah.
Fatality.
Thank you, Scorpion.
Have you finished, Ethan?
Not while I'm awake.
Back to
Oh my
back to
god.
Alid in the studio.
Oh
As
my
Ryan
god.
Reynolds said.
Well, we
Right.
scored it. You know what?
You're going to have to put a rating on this thing.
Yeah, come on, Graham, give us your score. What's the scores on the doors?
All righty. As I say, this isn't bad. But what am I saying? It's not good either. So I'll get a 7, and that's been generous.
7! Let's go to Susie. Just give us a score, Susie.
No, just similar to The Only Way You Should Watch This Movie, I'm giving it 3 robots.
Wow.
3 robots.
She scored it higher than you,
That is
Alex.
really high. That is really high for this film. Right, let's go to Jake. Just give us a score, Jake. Don't go back through your review. Thank you very much.
It's a 4 on the door.
Up is 4 on the door. Right, let's go to Ethan. Just give us a score.
Okay. I'm going to be
Just give us a
generous.
score.
I'm going to be generous. I'll give it a 7.
No, not accepting that. Give us another score.
Let's go to Philip.
7.
7. Let's go to Philip.
I'm going to give it a 6 on the dick. There you go.
What?
That doesn't really work. That doesn't. That doesn't rhyme. Let's go to Alex and Susan. Alex, just give us a score. Not your life story, just a score, please.
Hey, easy there.
You know your life story.
I don't need permission for my score. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 6, barely. I mean, it should have been an 8, but they couldn't.
Yeah,
pull
okay.
the film
Thank
together.
you. Let's go to Susan.
All right. I'll give it a 6 as well. Good try. I really like Frank Langella. I'd love to score it higher, but oh, geez.
Oh.
Right from one oop to another oop. Let's go to hell with Lee.
It's a 10 for Frank Langella, but for the movie, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to give it a 4.
What? You just bumped it up.
I'm going to give it a 4 because I'm going to keep Picard quite low. It's nowhere near as bad as Picard. I'm probably going to give Picard
For the love
1.
of heaven.
I'm going to give Picard a 1, and I'm going to give
credibility. You just go.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you change your mind mid-time and Gizmo gets fed after midnight. What the fuck?
I'm gonna give Picard a 1. I'm gonna give this a 4, and I'm gonna give Frozen 2 1 billion trillion million
Oh
zillion
my
billion
God.
billion trillion zillion.
That doesn't
I'm
even
saying
make
for
any
Frozen as
sense.
That-
So
No, we would have got through a cast without mention of Frozen, but no, it didn't.
No,
you
you
just
just have
can't
to
let it
bring it
go,
up.
can you, Lee? You just can't let it go.
Please tell me there's no more sequels to that god-awful movie.
No.
Yes, there is, Philip. Yes, there. I feel called him Philip again.
What was I going to say?
It's 'cause-
What's the third one going to be called? The Iceman Cometh? Fucking hell.
Oh, yes, please.
Right, I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you, Cher, for watching this video, for staying such a long time on us, for sticking with us through thick and thin for all these years, for all you've done for the group.
Like what?
And
When you know Sally Field, wrap up the cast.
Hey-oh.
don't forget to comment below.
Ethan
Don't-
wants to say something.
Who?
Me, one last thing. This Christmas, we're going to be reviewing He-Man and
No,
She-Ra.
we're
the
not.
Christmas
No, we're
special,
not. Go
and I
to
would
bed.
very much love Susie and
No.
Alan and everyone to come and join us.
No, we're not.
Have a great time. Merry
No,
Christmas.
we're not. Get back in your box, dear.
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, yes, I'm taking over an answer.
Right, we're off now. Bye.
Bye.
Wee man. Yeah.
We